Versatile Mage. Chapter 386. The Truth Behind the Invasion. As the sun fully set, the white magic falcons made use of the darkness that slowly covered the land and flew out from their perches. The sky, dimly lit by what was left of the sun, was covered with white feathers. They looked like clouds, huge enough to shroud the entire sky while slowly approaching the fortress. The spectacular view immediately sent chills down everyone's spine. The white magic falcons had just launched an even fiercer attack. The countless white magic falcons seemed to have found a delicacy. They had turned into white ghastly demons with a strong bloodlust, descending upon the human world. They flew across the mountains and the woods west of the fortress. Meanwhile, the most important line of defense on the human side was currently trapped by terror due to the plague. The battle mages gathered themselves, standing on the defense towers in lines. Most of the basic and intermediate magicians were unable to do any serious damage to flying demon beasts. In fact, the main firepower of West Fortress was made up of the huge number of basic and intermediate magicians. Currently, the humans had no choice but to send the elites among elites to station the scattered defense towers. The fortress itself was no longer part of the line of defense. The towers were the actual barrier stopping the white magic falcons from invading human territory. Many magicians were flying in the sky above West Fortress. Without the heavenly eagles, some of the advanced magicians could not even join the battle. Everyone was wearing a stern expression. They would be lying if they claimed they were not afraid of facing the overwhelming army of white magic falcons. They were just too many. Even advanced magicians were at risk of dying in the battle. It quickly turned into a standoff between humans and demon beasts. The numbers on the human side were too few. The battle felt rather one-sided on the surface. However, the humans did not dare take a step backward. There were too many helpless civilians behind the line of defense. If the white magic falcons crossed the line of defense, they would bring a true massacre to the city. In the main meeting room of West Fortress, Councilman Zhu Meng stood in front of the window providing a clear view of the sky. The expression on his face was extremely grave. He took a puff of a cigarette and extinguished it with a pinch straight away. Wu Pingjing, follow me to the battle. Councilman, how can you join the battle yourself? Said Royal Guard Li Jin. We are left with no choice. If I don't go, who's going to handle that ruler-level beast? Replied the councilman. That's right, not only do we need to deal with the large numbers of white magic falcons, we have to find a way to stop the ruler-level demon beast too. Councilman, Wu Pingjing, Elders Tang Zheng and Li Tian, please handle the ruler-level creature, agreed Army Advisor Yun Feng. The four nodded heavily. They were prepared to fight the ruler-level demon beast to the death. Elder Court Li Tian glanced at Councilman Zhu Meng before looking at Army Advisor Yun Feng and said, the white magic falcons are deadly serious with their invasion this time. Does anyone not wonder why the demon beasts who stayed at West Ridge peacefully would attack our city all of a sudden? These assholes are intelligent too. They're simply taking advantage of our situation, since our defense is severely impacted because of the plague. They wouldn't let such a great opportunity slip past them. They have always wanted to take over our city. The peace we had was just so that we would let our guard down, said the Army Advisor of West Fortress, Yun Feng. Councilman Zhu Meng glanced at Li Tian and asked in a serious tone, Elder Li Tian, you sound like you know something. My subordinate Leng King has learned the truth of the plague from several young and brave magicians. It wasn't a natural disaster, but man-made, said Elder Li Tian in a heavy tone. The plague was not a natural disaster. It was man-made. The words echoed in the meeting room, leaving everyone in astonishment. Elder Li Tian, what do you possibly mean by that? Asked Army Advisor Yun Feng curiously. Surely everyone knows that the source of the outbreak at West Fortress was the blood serums that were transported here from White Town. The blood serums contain a kind of diseased blood retrieved from the malicious epidemic rats. As the virus broke out in the patients' bodies, it eventually turned into an epidemic disease, said Li Tian. The goateed councilman Luo Mian interrupted before Li Qian could finish. Our first priority now is to deal with the white magic falcons. We should worry about the plague later. Elder Li Qian glanced at the guilty conscious councilman Luo Mian and said with a hollow laugh, everyone might not know this, but the white magic falcons are only invading us because of the plague. The malicious epidemic rats are the white magic falcons' favorite food. Also, they can utilize the diseased blood of the malicious epidemic rats to improve their bloodline. Therefore, when the white magic falcons smell the malicious epidemic rats, they hunt them down at all costs. Many people in the city are infected, thus the blood in their bodies has become the diseased blood of the malicious epidemic rats. Li Qian paused for a brief moment, his gaze never leaving Councilman Luo Mian. Everything was happening because of his greed, yet he was still inside the meeting room while Vice Elder Wang Yi had become his scapegoat. He had also put the blame on the black totem snake. Such an evil-hearted person, Li Qian felt a strong urge to execute the councilman right on the spot. The white magic falcons have launched such a heavy attack because they assume every infected patient is a malicious epidemic rat, a delicacy, a resource that will make them stronger. Elder Li Qian finished furiously. The others were absolutely astounded when they finished hearing his words. Are you telling me that the white magic falcons are only attacking us because they are targeting the people affected by the plague? Councilman Zhu Meng asked in disbelief. That's right. Didn't you realize that the white magic falcons are not trying to destroy the fortress? After we moved all the infected from White Town and the fortress to Hangzhou City, the demon beasts have already set their eyes on the city instead. Li Qian said heavily. Hangzhou was currently in a grave situation. Li Qian could not care less about sparing anyone's sensibilities. He was determined to reveal Councilman Luo Mian's conspiracy to everyone during the meeting so they would realize the true cause of the battle. As a magician, Li Qian strongly believed that every magician had the obligation of stopping the demon beasts from infiltrating their territory with their lives at stake. But it did not mean that the magicians would have to sacrifice the precious lives for a man-made disaster resulting from one man's greed. Chapter end. Please guys like, comment, share, and subscribe.